Hello everyone, welcome back to the video of ICB Coding. In this video, I'm going to continue with another video of the game development series, and we are going to look at the T-rex Runner Game, or popularly the No Internet Game. So in this video, I'm going to look at the basic mechanics and the process of implementing the game in the JavaScript using the p5.js library. I'm going to divide it into parts, and in this part, basically, we're going to talk about just implementing the basics, the basic characters, the basic scenario, and all that sort of thing. So first, let's try to understand the game. So without any delay, let's get started. Okay, so the idea of the game is that I've got a T-rex runner which jumps when I press my space key, and my task is to jump over all these cactuses which keep on generating from time to time. So, and when I hit one of those cactuses, it uses the collision mechanism, hopefully, to just reset the game again. And so, as you can see, there is no end to game. In the end to this game, you can just continue over and over again. As long as you can play it, you can create your own high score in this game practically. So what you can see here is that this T-rex is continuously seen this third-person view. That the T-rex runner is actually moving. It is continuously running. But actually, if you just see it, if you try to observe it, you will see that T-rex is just fixed in its place. If you just see as a visual, the T-rex is just fixed in its place. When I'm clicking on jump, it is just jumping then and there. But all the floors, the clouds and the cactuses are actually moving. So that is what we need to apply. So that is basically called infinite generation. So there is something that these objects, these cactuses, this scenario and these clouds, they actually go on moving towards a rectangle or towards a T-rex and keep on generating over time, and it seems as if the T-rex is running in an infinite distance. So we don't need to care about all this in the first video. We're just going to look at the T-rex, just apply the mechanics of the T-rex. That's what we need to do in this video. So let's head to the Visual Studio Code and let's try to implement this. So what I need is a canvas which I've created here. So this will be my canvas on which I'm going to do everything. And then for the starting video, we do not have any images. We don't know how to implement images. So we're just going to use rectangles and circles. So the platform is going to be rectangular like this in the bottom of the screen, and I am going to have another player, which is basically the T-rex, which is going to be placed on the canvas. And then when I press my any key like the space key, so the T-rex should actually sort of jump. Oh, whoops! Just a second. So this T-rex should actually. Whoa, what is happening? So anyway, so this T-rex should actually jump like this and again should fall on the ground. So there is some kind of application of gravity. I need to use something like a gravity for this T-rex to control this jump type of thing. Okay, it's much better if I just have the canvas and the base first. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm going to have the function setup, and I'm going to have the function draw. Oh, all right. So in the function setup, let's just try to create the canvas, and let's take an idea about how the canvas is not going to be square this time. So the canvas is hopefully going to be, if I just click on here, okay, so this is the canvas size. You can see the blue border. So it is very thin. Probably this is, let's say 150 and this is 750. There is some kind of that ratio. So that is going to be 750 and 150, and just so we can see something, at least the canvas. So let's set the background to 0, that is black, but the canvas should actually be white. So if I just run this now, so I'm going to find what's wrong. Why do I get so many errors in the beginning? Okay, it is telling nothing. Well, second. Oh, my HTML file. Sorry everyone. So my HTML is something like this. So sketch.js will be here, and then we will see that this is the canvas which I've made. I mean, that's too big for the T-rex. So the easy thing to do is just shrink this to 100%, and I think this is the canvas in which we're going to work. Just let's decrease it by a little, and let's make it 700 by 150. So this is the canvas, and let's set the background to 200. I mean, that will give us a little of a grayscale kind of, okay, that is wrong, yeah. Okay, so it is going to give us a little bit of grayscale kind of quality so that we can work properly. But at the end, I'm going to insert some kinds of borders in this end so that we can see where our canvas actually lies. So what I need is a rectangle as a base. So I'm going to have the x's and y's. So I need to calculate the x's and y's because I'm going to need those variables for the conditioning. So let base x equals, so I'm using rect mode corner, so the base x is going to be 0, and let base y, the base y is, let's say, is going to be at 125. Let's just have an arbitrary value, and then the width is going to be the entire canvas width, and let base h, the h is going to be 20, just 20 for now. And then I just what I need is fill 0. Why did it show file list? Yeah, I need fill, not file list. Fill 0, no stroke. I do not want any stroke, no stroke. And I want a rectangle. It is going to write reflect, so yeah, it's better. So it's base x, base y, and the length is going to be entire width, and base h. So let's see what I've got. So you can see that this is the base which I have basically created. I mean, it's looking kind of nice, but let's change it to 15 because I think the base should be a bit lesser than the number. I think this is the base which is looking particularly nice. Let's set this to 135 so that it covers the entire thing. Okay, so the base is done, and I will just like be 140 and 10. That's better. Okay. Whoa, not this much. What just happened? Okay, feeling 15 was better. Why it just became okay, 15. Yeah, this is fine. So let's change it to 10. And yeah, so okay, so this is the base which I want. Now I want to insert a T-rex runner on this exact platform. So I'm going to use object-oriented programming for this, for the T-rex. So let's write a new class, a new file, which is maybe called a dino. I'm going to use the word dino because there might be many dinosaurs. So using the class as dino will be much appropriate. So class dino, and then I'm going to add my constructor. Okay, and then let's have the dino take an xy. The old ones actually, there's nothing to think. X, y, w, and h. Then I just need to write that this dot x is equals x. This dot. Why am I making so many errors in the typing? I don't know. Okay, should be w, and this dot h should be h. The constructor, I think for now, I don't need to think much about this. I think this is more or less done. Now, okay. The thing is, I will need a velocity, and since it does not move in the x direction, the velocity will just be the y velocity. This dot velocity initially is set to 0, and this dot acceleration whoops is equal to gravity. Initially the acceleration is equal to gravity, and that's always going to be gravity, the acceleration. So let's have a variable called gravity. All fine. So I've got something in my brain, so just bear with me for some time. So then we need a display, that is a class function. In the display function, I'm going to do, and let's say I want to use a rectangle for the dino as it is. So let's write fill 0, the old ones actually, fill, and it is going to use file list, which is better, fill 0. I mean, I would like if someone tells me how to remove this autocorrect feature of Visual Studio Code, because that makes a lot of problem. No stroke and rectangle, not reflect. Okay, rect. I need to stop this autocorrect sometime. I mean, that's very much irritating. So let's have this dot x, this dot y, this dot w, and this dot h. Okay, that's fine. Now I need an update function. So in the update function, what I need to do is I need to update the x. So that this dot x, this dot y will be plus equal this dot velocity. So my y goes up as my velocity changes, and my velocity, this dot velocity plus equals this dot gravity. This is not acceleration, yes. So the acceleration is gravity, that's a different thing. But this is a general update mechanism for any object rather. So then let's have a T-rex variable, a T-rex. Then let's create a T-rex. I'm creating a T-rex, a new dino, hopefully. And then x, y, width, height, and gravity. Okay. So let G be 9.8. I mean that's a universal G. I don't know what it will be in the programming sense. Let that be 9.8 for now, but I will definitely have to reduce this. So we will have a dino and x will be okay. I do not want gravity for now. I just want to see the dino. So let's set it to 0. So x is going to be 20. I'm just having arbitrary values. I'm going to solve it later. So the y is going to be 140. Okay, 140 minus h, and let's have an h for the T-rex. Let h be 30 pixels. So that will be 140 minus h. Then the width is going to be just 20, and the height is going to be h. Alright. So then to see the T-rex, what I need, and the gravity here, that will be g. So I need a T-rex to see, I will just have to write T-rex dot display. T-rex dot display, and then hopefully, okay, I have not inserted my file in the HTML, so I'm going to do that if I see any stupid errors. So copy this, and file name is dino. Alright, so I think, okay, so you can see our little T-rex, and to just debug the thing, I think it will be much better if I give it a different color. Let's say the dinosaurs are generally, as I visualize them, they're green. So let's give it a green color. Okay, so this is our T-rex for now. I mean, yeah. So what we should probably do is, yeah, this is our T-rex, as you can see it. So if I write T-rex.update, so the T-rex.update should happen before. The T-rex.update, so nothing basically is going to happen, right? But if I change the gravity to 9.8, then, well, nothing, because as for the T-rex comes, it just bounces down, because 9.8 is very much. So let's set that to 0.01. So now you can see that this is a dinosaur, and it actually just accelerates down, just goes down the base. But this is what should not happen. So if you just to show you, so let's have this not as 140. I mean, let's set this to 0 so that you can see it in a better way. So we'll say that T-rex just is slowly accelerating, and to show the acceleration move in a better way, let's have 0.05. So you can see it is basically accelerating. It is like something is falling down in slow motion. So, but I want that when this T-rex goes down this little, what to say, this the base, it should actually stop this accelerating effect. So let's set this back to 140, and let's say if T-rex dot x is T-rex y is less than or equals base y, only then you need to update it, right? Only then update it. So okay, so it's going to stop as there. So T-rex base dot y minus T-rex dot height. So that should make more sense. So okay, so you can see that the T-rex just stops there. If I set the T-rex to 0 again, as I had the previous time, and the gravity, let's increase it a little. So here the T-rex comes, falls, and gets settled right over there. Now, a little bit of problems there. You can see this bit of issue that it is just moving over the canvas. I think, what did I do wrong over here? Well, an easy fix will be just to have this dot velocity inside this, so that as soon as the velocity reaches that range, the acceleration will just goes. And now you can see that the T-rex is not just zooming over the rectangle, so it's just stopping in front of my base. So this gravity, and I made some changes actually, as I inserted this if statement not in here but actually in the update function itself, and I just changed the value of gravity a little. So you can see that I am getting this kind of effect for now, which looks at least more realistic. I think we should increase the gravity a little more. And okay, so you can see this is what more looks like something is pulled down by the gravitational pull. So now we need a function called jumping to just check when I press the key, the T-rex should actually jump. So the jump with the jump function, what should happen is that the x of the T-rex, the x should just increase by an arbitrary number. So this dot x, should increase by, let's say, 10 pixels. Let's have that. So then I can have my function key pressed. So when I press any key, I'm going to have the space bar very soon, but for now let's just have T-rex dot jump. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, and then let's just change this to base height. I do not need 0 now. Okay, so let's refresh this. Whoops, why is not getting refreshed? Okay, 0, and that's fine. So the base h, not base h, that's base y. Okay, so now you can see it's there where it should be. So when I press, okay, and when I press any key, the y should go up by 10 pixels. So let's see if this works. So I'm pressing my space bar. Oh, what happened? Okay, let's zoom this. So, and let's just have this, and then when I press my space bar, okay, it comes down. Okay, this should be minus. Yeah, this should be minus. It goes up actually. So then you can see. Okay, so let's zoom. I'm gonna adjust this actually. So okay, so you can see that it is basically kind of doing a jumping like pattern. I think the change, that is the x amount, should increase to, let's say, 50. They should change to 50 probably, and then you can see that I'm getting like it is kind of trying to jump. And let's decrease the acceleration to 0.3 as it was, so we get more of that kind of feel. So you can see that it is basically looking as this T-rex is basically trying to jump. So let's decrease the acceleration a little more, 0.02, and you can see that now it is looking that a T-rex is basically trying to jump. So I think, oops, why did it stop there? There is something wrong. So I'm not able to get that effect. I mean, what I had before was something like this, in which I was getting this stupid creaky like of thing that it is doing this. So I am trying. So let's use the velocity for example, and let's say that the velocity, oops, let's say that the velocity gets decreased. The velocity gets decreased by something like 5. So if I do this, so let's see, you can see that I'm getting this kind of a thing. So let's increase this number to 15, like this. So now you can see that, okay, so 15 is too much, so let's have it as 10. So then you can see that it basically looks as if the T-rex here, let's zoom it. Okay, you can see that T-rex, it is looking as if the T-rex is basically jumping, but I think you can see that it is a bit laggy kind of thing, because when I'm pressing now, so every time twice I'm pressing my key, the T-rex is busy, and when I'm pressing it repeated number of times, it is moving up. So what I think a better option is that the gravity, whatever may be, so when I press the jump E, just set my velocity to -10. Okay, so now you can see I get this more kind of a T-rex runner kind of an effect, that this kind of effect where this little rectangle actually jumps. As you can see, it actually jumps whenever I press my key. It jumps actually once and then comes down. So I think this is the basic mechanics. So it took a bit of time for me to figure this out, but I think this is what the basic mechanics of this T-rex should be, that whenever I press my space key, it just jumps and then comes back. So right now it might not look at all interesting to you. It just also you can see this basic mechanics of this T-Rex, what this T-Rex had with it. I think the similar mechanics this has also now got to it. I think this is what it's supposed to be. So you could try to play with the values. As I said, for the gravity, I just set it to minus 0.5. So as you change the gravity, you will see that the thing basically change the color. So I think this is the most appropriate scenario. G is 0.5. The velocity gets decreased by -10 when the dinosaur just jumps. So I think this is the perfect possible scenario for the dinosaurs. I'm going to end this video, but the last thing I'm going to do is, so I need to check if what are the key which I'm pressing. The key which I'm pressing is a space key. Only then do I just want the T-Rex to jump. Otherwise, the T-Rex is not going to jump. It's going to jump only when I press the, and this should be key code. Okay, this should be key code, and then only when I press my space key, it is supposed to move. Okay, and actually I just missed one space. So there should be space here. So now when I press any other key, nothing actually happens. But every time I press my space bar, the T-Rex actually just jumps. So I think this is the basic mechanics for the T-Rex. So in the next part, we're going to look at generating all these kinds of clouds and all these kinds of cactuses. So until then everyone, thanks for watching the video and goodbye.